Welcome back to episode 132 of the Block Runner podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, I-Man.
What's up, dude?
Well, I tell you what.
Good to be back.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, tell me what, dude.
If there was any time to be sick for you guys, TJ and I-Man, you guys picked the worst time to get sick.
Dude, if only it was that, egregious where we, had a say in the matter. You know,
I'll try to do better next time.
Yeah, same. But that's what I said, too. I was like, dude, I can't believe it, man. We were sitting here in the bear market, scrounging for topics on a weekly basis. Like, dude, what's going on?
Yeah.
Not a lot. A lot of projects just kind of collapsing here and there. Very bearish sentiment across the board, right?
Yeah.
We're scraping for news.
Uh-huh.
And then, all of a sudden, the juiciest of news items just hits us in the face.
Yeah, by the minute.
Yeah.
It was constant. It all happened, transpired on Twitter, too.
Yeah. So when did this whole debacle start?
I believe.
Let's break it down. I'm pretty sure everybody listening to this.
Yeah, they've already heard nonstop about FTX and
it's been about a
Sam
week, right?
Sam Bankman-Fried, yeah.
Yeah. Like this guy in particular, now he's the biggest. If you're Do Kwon right now, you feel a lot of pressure off your shoulders. I'm sure he's no longer enemy number one.
Yeah, this guy is a worldwide fugitive.
Yeah,
at the minimum.
Yeah.
And then Alameda, the CEO there as well. So let's take a look at what happened. So let's go back in time. I think it was November 7th when everything kind of hit the fan. At least the beginnings.
Yeah, I remember hearing the initial ruffles of the feathers. I guess I don't know, just the first initial tweets coming out of potential. Something, right? Nobody really knew across the board what the issues were.
Yeah.
But all I heard was Binance coming out trying to announce to the world, FTX is in a huge predicament, and we're here to basically bail them out and then acquire FTX.
Yeah.
Right? It's just to save the customer base or something.
Mm-hmm.
So a day or two later, I guess that was a...
It was not even 24 hours later. They're like, nope.
Yeah, no thanks, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to that. If that was just a public PR stunt, or they actually just literally looked at something within their...
Yeah, I'm sure they did due diligence, and they just didn't like what they saw.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if they saw anything of due diligence, just because, I mean, how do you disclose to Binance that you've manipulated user funds?
Yeah.
And how do you expect Binance to bail you out here?
Yeah, but why did Binance publicly come out before doing the due diligence?
I'm sure what happened was, a lot of things contributed to Binance coming out publicly and trying to buy FTX. One of those things was CZ wanted to help companies who are legitimately in a liquidity crisis because crypto went down.
Yeah.
So he thought FTX was in that similar trouble. No one expected that Sam was misusing funds.
Yeah.
Or at least misusing customer funds.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they looked into it. What shocks me is that there was documentation of this fraudulent activity that allowed Binance to be nah.
Yeah, what do you think they saw? Because now I think people are asking to see their actual internal communications, between Alameda and FTX and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because their own...
As they should, yeah.
Yeah, but now everybody has, I guess, an interest to know what was being said.
Right.
Right, but what is the documentation you think they actually saw?
I think it was as simple as, the amount of money that they...
went bust over in Alameda's front?
Well, Alameda and as also, the liquidity needed to supply the customers with their exit funds.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that Binance thought this was too much. Mm-hmm. And it was no, I can't handle all this.
So they might not have even known then about the reason why they didn't have the liquidity to cover their customers is because of the
They
trying to keep Alameda afloat, right?
It potentially,
or that's allegedly, right? That's what they're alleging.
Well, allegedly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as Binance knowing exactly what was happening during that due diligence phase, I have a feeling, I doubt that they saw exactly what was happening because.
Or maybe
if there was documentation proof, somebody else on FTX would have known. They would have blown the whistle on this.
Do you think Sam Bankman-Fried, that's SBF, right? What's his name?
SBF,
Friedman?
Yeah.
Sam, let's just call him SBF. Everybody else does. Do you think he was like obviously he wasn't transparent about this to anybody, but like internally, like he was very much like aware of what he was doing, or he was maybe doing this out of pure like desperation, like a straight panic move.
I've been thinking about this particular question a lot, because Sam has made several appearances to Congress.
Yes,
he's talking about transparency. He's talking about how crypto is doing it better than the banks. Basically, you know, he's the man for crypto, essentially. Yeah. And so your question is, did he know? Was he like intentional with like using customer funds?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought at the very beginning when I first heard about this, I thought that someone else was doing it, and like he just didn't know. Mm-hmm. But it seems like that's not the case. It seems like he did know.
Well, yeah. Like if he did, I'm pretty sure. Of course, he knew. Right? He knew what he was doing. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
There's no way he's doing something like accidentally. Like, oops, I'm accidentally breaking the law here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's well aware. Yeah. Right? But yeah, the fact that he's doing that at the same time going out and putting on like a public persona of like this trustworthy actor within the ecosystem. This is the guy you want to stake your everything on, right?
And, which a lot of people did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Institutions.
That's the image you have to kind of portray, right? If you're a centralized exchange operator / owner, because that requires a ton of trust. Right?
Yes. Yeah. See, but that's what shocks me the most. He had an operating an exchange. Yeah. All he has to do is just operate the exchange, and you just accumulate funds.
I know.
I don't understand why you have to like be so leveraged.
Yeah.
Like why? I don't understand. And I think what contributed to it was Alameda making bad investments. Yeah. Crypto going down. Alameda potentially being insolvent, just like so many of these, like Three Arrows.
Yeah.
All these other investment companies.
Yeah.
Like they all like legitimately failed because of just, bad investments.
Yeah.
And he didn't want Alameda to fail, so he bailed Alameda out. Of course.
Yeah, that would have been like a huge notch on his reputation.
Yeah.
And that would have been enough just to trigger a bank run event in itself. They've, this tied entity to FTX just went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, that's true.
What does that mean for our funds? It's going to scare people away. So I think it's a little bit more of that type of situation. Probably. Where he was just more of in a panic.
Yeah.
I think they got a little over exuberant, like everybody does in a bull market. They just went too ham with it. He was being probably clouded by all the respect and admiration he was receiving from the Web3 investor space. Like literally the biggest investors.
Yeah,
like Sequoia Capital,
Sequoia,
SoftBank, a bunch of other ginormous. I mean, we're talking titans.
The best of the best, yeah.
Yeah, they're telling him, this guy he's like the second coming for Web3 and crypto. There's nothing better than SBF, right? And this is actually documented. These types of reactions that he was getting because he raised a ginormous investment round, right?
Yeah, $32 billion.
Well, he didn't. That was a valuation.
That was a valuation, yeah.
Yeah. So what is it? What is it about this guy who literally just entered the scene a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
With FTX, he just completely took everything over. Yeah. Right. Just about. He was on his way.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, what contributed to it was like his look. Like he looks very nerdy, right?
It's the same thing I feel when I see Vitalik every day.
Yeah.
No, I see Vitalik and I'm like, fuck yeah. Like my Ethereum just feels so much better. I was like, dude, this is the guy that built everything, right? Yeah. I want my, my
future depending on so like
an uber nerd, right? And Sam Bankman has that same
he's got the
allure.
Same. Yeah, that's right.
So to me it's an interesting like case study, I guess. Like what is it about these? Obviously they're not like the best of communicators, They're kind of cringy in a lot of cases.
Like Elon has some of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, amongst the wealthy class, I think we interpret this as investable, highly investable, right? This is something I want to stake my future in, like you said. But, man, in this case, it just went so sour.
Yeah, and I think he got over exuberant and was trying to bail out one of his companies, and it just like blew
he thought
up.
He could get away with it, maybe. Yeah. I mean, what is the case where he could have gotten away from it? Like,
well, if crypto didn't crash as hard as it did.
But you said something about Binance played some sort of 5D, or CZ played some sort of 5D chess move. Like, he smelt blood in the water.
Oh, he did.
He probably like had some sort of like in on Alameda's investing.
Yeah, probably
investing cap tables. I don't know. Like, he probably
CZ's got eyes everywhere.
Yeah,
and those eyes are looking into like investing into projects like Alameda and FTX, and and I'm sure those eyeballs like saw something and they tipped them off.
Yeah, they hit the red alerts. It's like CZ, red alert, red alert. Yeah. It's like Alameda is probably down like 80% on their portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to crash imminently here. And then he's probably like, he's like, that smells like an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, time to pull the plug on this whole, you know, FTX backing thing, right?
Yeah. And so CZ basically announced on Twitter that he was going to sell 100% of his FTT holdings.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Which is the native, that's the token for the exchange, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to find it. It was like not too long ago, but he tweets a lot. So, but most importantly in that tweet that he was going to sell everything.
Let me look at this picture real quick. The Big Short 2. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, this is definitely going to be a movie.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but in that tweet, he was saying that he was going to sell 100%. He was like, after like looking into it, or after like, after what I saw, I am selling all my FTT. And so that triggered that bank run.
That's right.
And well, go back up and read the tagline on that.
It says, full disclosure, Binance never shorted FTT. We have a bag of as we stopped selling FTT after SBF called me. Very expensive call.
No, go down. It's the dip just kept dipping. I've never felt more into a movie.
Yeah, dude. That's got all the culprits, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Elon should be on that poster somewhere.
Elon, yeah. So, I mean, it should come up here. But yeah, essentially that's what happened. He smelled blood in the water. Here it is. FTT contract deployer moved all remaining FTT supply of 400 million, which could be unlocked in batches. Not sure what's going on here. So this is like, I mean, we're only on November 12th, and we went through like a bunch of tweets.
Oh yeah, I mean, this has been a very active week to say the least. And again, yeah, I've been wrapped up in a blanket most of it, dude, just trying to like keep my insides inside, you know, just keep them from coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was still on Twitter, you know, and as much pain I was in, I was keeping my eyeballs on this spectacle. It was juicy. This is as dramatic as you can get, like in the crypto space.
Yeah, so many people got wrecked. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Galaxy Digital, Novogratz.
Yeah.
Like 76 million or something like that.
Pretty much everybody. Like this impacted everybody. Like, we know people, not many. I don't know if it's because we're U.S. customers or what. Like, I don't know many people personally who have FTX accounts.
Yeah.
Like on the retail side, I guess, because that's contributing to like, how the hell did he pull this off? My feeling of that, right? It's like everyone I know uses Coinbase. So why are so many people deviating and using FTX? I don't know. I don't think it's much of a retail environment.
I think FTX, that too. But I think FTX was bigger outside of the United States.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that, definitely.
Because like Binance is pretty big, but Coinbase is bigger inside the United States than everybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But Binance has a Binance US.
Yeah, Binance is like 10 times bigger than anybody internationally.
Yeah, exactly.
They control essentially the entire, crypto market, right?
Yeah, so here's one of the tweets. This afternoon, this is November 8th, FTX asked for our help. There is a significant liquidity crunch. To protect users, we signed a non-binding LOI, letter of intent, intending to fully acquire FTX and help cover the liquidity crunch.
Yes, okay.
So there's no way.
This was it. This was the first thing I saw.
Yeah,
this was like during, there was like a 20% market sell-off across the board, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, yeah, it's because of the CPI numbers that are coming out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't think so, dude. This is like something bigger than that.
Yeah.
And this was what happened, right? This is what started it all. People immediately started to panic,
Yeah.
And, everyone calling it the Lehman moment for crypto, which is a fair comparison.
Yeah, I agree.
Now people are saying even bigger. It's like Enron. Enron / Bernie Madoff comparisons. Like, this is bad, really bad.
Yeah, and so I think this tweet from CZ that I'm looking for happened, I think, last week. But nonetheless.
I remember seeing it.
Yeah, like basically it was exiting. Here it is. As part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, so this is November 6th. This was last week, like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Binance received roughly 2.1 billion USD equivalent in cash, Binance USD, and FTT. Due to recent revelations that have come to light, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT in our books. And so this is what started everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it got good engagement, but not like crazy. We will try to do this in a way that minimizes market impact. Due to market conditions and limited liquidity, we expect this will take a few months to complete.
Well, you think then that means that they got crushed?
No, they did.
Yeah, because they didn't want to spark a market runaway, but that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. But, I mean, no matter how much this cost them and whatever they were holding, they ended up, like, just completely winning.
Yeah, there's nothing. That was probably one of the most valuable burns of all time.
Not only that, it's like a valuable, like, business lesson that was going to be taught, you know, like, in like, not necessarily history books, but, like, strategy books.
Yeah, I mean, CZ came out of this looking, like, clean as a whistle. Like, you know, he is our new god. Basically, we got no one else left to like depend on, I guess, in these. I don't know. Like, it was a straight up war move.
It is.
It was a tactic.
Yeah,
you know, he knew exactly how to word everything to make it not look like that.
Yeah.
You know, still play like that political correct, or I don't know, just political side to things.
Yeah,
and still maintain his positions of power and obvious, just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Attitude. A little bit of Scarface in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the most interesting words here, recent revelations. Like what did he see? And it was probably the whole like exchange of funds from FTX to Alameda that like triggered this.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like this is a tactic that companies use and they have used in the past to kind of eliminate competitors. And I found that to be probably the most interesting like tidbit out of all this.
So do you have to like be so public about these types of decisions or moves, like from a regulatory standpoint, just because they're moving so many funds? Like, do you have to kind of like let the market, or like, you know, almost notify the market, hey, you know, we got billions of dollars here we're about to move?
I feel like you do to a certain extent. I mean, whenever Elon sells his stock, he needs to file that sell to the SEC and like schedule it sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And because he can't just like dump all his stock like willy-nilly.
Yeah, it would just tank everything.
It would tank everything. And so he's got to publicly announce, I'm going to sell, you know, 1 million.
That's fucking unbelievable then. Because like, yeah, in any case, if he ever like, you know, deleverages from any position in the future, like that has to be like a sell-off trigger for anybody, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's how much influence and power that he has.
But you know what? I mean, from a regulation standpoint, it's kind of necessary. Because otherwise you're screwing everybody who's holding the bag, right?
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
Especially if you're in a position like CZ where you get access to information that all of us don't.
Yeah. And
he's making a decision as a result of that information.
But he got screwed in this case. Say it wasn't like a market or an exchange competitor. It was just, I don't know, a layer 2. Let's say it was Polygon or something. He saw something from within the Polygon infrastructure that's he knows imminently the whole network's going to collapse at some point in the future, right? So he's like, I need to deleverage, de-risk from this.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would scare everybody, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it would tank the value of it, probably similar to what happened to FTX. Maybe not as extreme because FTX was an actual like case of fraudulence, you know?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like that's like shooting yourself in the foot. You know, you're giving everybody a chance to like exit before you because you know you have to.
Yeah, you have to schedule it.
I don't know. This is very delicate, man. This is tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to manage.
It is.
Well, that's a good problem to have, to be that fucking wealthy and powerful. You know.
Yeah, because even if you're holding like $100 million worth of FTT, you might get out 20, 30, 40 $million regardless. So it's still better than losing 100 million.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that literally is like the Big Short. You know, it's like get something out because you know, like this shit that I'm holding is worthless.
Yeah,
you know, just like those mortgage-backed securities in 2008. It's like, dude, all this is like worthless, like mortgages, right? But nobody knows but me. But that's the thing. Those bankers, they didn't tell anybody. They were out there liquidating and like, you know, shorting their own positions and keeping it quiet. And then they let everybody know the shit we're all holding is valueless, and then the market reacts, right? When they're positioned to capitalize on that.
And didn't it take like 2.5 years before like it actually came true? That everything crashed.
I think so. It was a slow burn, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So, Will, you probably know more about this than I do, but so the reason why Elon has to announce it publicly is because he's selling his own stock, right?
Yes.
So if Binance is selling a coin for that's not their own token, does that make a difference?
That's a good question. I think if you're holding a big position, I think the SEC requires you to to notify them that you're going to sell these public disclosures. That's what they're called. Now, when it comes to like, let's say Elon selling somebody else's stock, he never has such a large position that would require a public disclosure. And so in the case of like Twitter and like all these like companies that he owns, I mean, there has to be public disclosure because he's got the most stock, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's a good question. Like, did CZ, like even in a completely regulated environment, did he have to tell everybody that he was going to sell his FTT?
I feel like no.
Probably not.
That's what that's my gut. My gut's telling me he didn't have to just tell the world.
Yeah.
He could have just like quietly over the course of several months, deleveraged his position because he knew
he would have gotten almost all of it out.
Yeah, but that's what makes me think like he didn't care about the money.
Yeah.
Like he was willing to let that shit burn.
Yeah.
Because he knew what he had to gain.
Yeah.
Right? Basically like execution, public execution.
Yeah, see, I think about if he did liquidate all of it, and then it comes back later that FTX has gone under, and they go back and find the receipts that he liquidated it, then he's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like, I mean, insider trading?
Is that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's insider trading, but it is.
It's something.
It's
something to be investigated for sure. Like, yeah, once the shit hits the fan, and then you start to see, like, who's been liquidating fan shit.
Yeah.
Or,
like only CZ.
Yeah, well, CZ and probably like other insiders are going to start to know. And then you're just going to like, what the hell? Why is FTX like slowly just dying? And then all of a sudden it's going to fall off a cliff at some point.
Yeah.
Once everybody becomes aware.
But you know what's interesting? Like BitBoy, he called this out like a week in advance.
So maybe, yeah. Or for sure in advance, yes.
Yeah. And there was other people who were calling this out.
Yeah.
Like several months in advance that this was like all fraudulent, which I don't know if there was any like public indicators of such fraud.
I'm sure they're there if you're like looking for them.
Maybe. I just never really looked into it. Like
I mean, that's the beauty of all these like public, ledgers. Like there's always eyeballs looking at you, you know. Watchdogs and whatnot. It's supposed to keep everybody honest, right? But it's definitely doesn't feel like it pans out that way. Not in most cases.
Right. So and that's only part of the story. Right?
Yeah. I mean, this thing goes deep, and it's not like it's gonna. Everybody's predicting a rippling effect.
Yeah.
Because so many like institutional investors, so many projects are relying on FTX as like, a foundational harbor of assets, right?
Yeah.
Of liquidity. So what does that mean? I guess we'll see like over the course of this bear market, right? Because this is this is it. This is what we needed for like a true bear market to officially commence.
Yeah, and we're
right?
going to show you a couple of charts that indicate how deep this goes. But while this was going down, so this is November 10th. This is after CZ publicly announced that they're not acquiring FTX. The first tweet from SBF, he's like, "I'm sorry, that's the biggest thing. I fucked it up and should have done better." And then he has like this whole explanation thing, and he pretty much apologizes 3 different times in this 22 tweet thread.
No, dude, I'm sorry. It was literally like the BP. British Petroleum, whatever, remember? It's
BP.
Yeah, after they
nuked the ocean.
Ocean. Like, we're sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. We won't do it again, I promise. That's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so that the story doesn't end here. As soon as SBF announced that they're filing a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, like not even like 2 to 3 hours after that, they get hacked for $600 million.
Wow. What is going on?
Yeah.
So what is that?
To me, that's just like inside job, like all over it. But not only that, it may have been inside job. I don't know, but apparently they were telling everybody to like delete the app because there's like Trojans on it and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So if either it was a legitimate hack where one of the employees got compromised or whatever it is, or it was an inside job, but they moved $600 million and
does anybody have eyes on those funds? You know, it has what are they using? Like USDC? Has Coinbase like froze those funds yet? It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's going to be the next story, I guess. Wherever the outflows of the 600 million is going to go straight to Tornado Cash.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what happened to the $600 million. So more than $600 million was siphoned from FTX crypto wallets late Friday. Soon after, FTX stated its official Telegram channel that had been compromised, instructing users not to install any new upgrades and delete all FTX apps.
There we go. This is quite the...
this is quite the show, dude.
Yeah, this is quite the collapse, dude. I mean, we all missed Mt.Gox, I guess.
Yeah,
Most
2014.
Of us did. 2013, 2014, yeah. So I guess we got like a repeat show on a much grander scale, right? Of see what it is, like a foundational component to like crypto's whole livelihood.
Yeah.
It just goes down. I mean, yeah, that was definitely, I think, the longest crypto winter, wasn't it? Post Mt.Gox?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so I think we're in for
another
one of those.
Like so are they saying that the app itself got manipulated and that's what caused the hack?
No, I think the hack included a malicious update to the app. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the transfer occurred on the same day that the firm filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the U.S. and apparently losing or misappropriating billions of dollars in user funds. Suspicions, which are conjecture at this point, circulate online about whether, rather than an outside attack, someone inside the company might have been responsible. There's a chance that someone inside the company, maybe some legal personnel or whatever, instructed this transaction to occur to protect what was left, so they can go through bankruptcy court and all that. There's a chance, but I don't know.
Dude, I know exactly who it was. I have a picture of SBF with those glasses with the big nose on it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Exactly. I mean,
what are the chances that you file for bankruptcy same day, 3 hours later or so, you get $600 million like lost funds?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to the probabilities of that. It's got to be like on a very micro scale.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, this is just so messy and like it's such a bad look.
Yeah, exactly. That's the I guess the consequences of this stuff happening is that everybody is like looking at crypto as like, yeah, I told you, the whole thing's a scam.
Yeah, because now it's trickling. The sentiment of scam activities are trickling into everything else now. And like, what else is a scam? What else? Who else should we not trust? Oh, maybe everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Well, just because Sam got caught in this predicament, does it mean like anything else out there is equally or less?
See that, and that's the biggest thing is that Sam was the poster boy of like Congress and crypto.
Yeah.
And then he just like it's gone now.
Yeah.
Like who's the guy now?
The guy who was supposed to come out and like educate the masses, I guess, on crypto and its viability and its security and all these things.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a con man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's horrible for the rest of us, dude, who were like hoping like somebody would be out there. I don't know. What the hell happened to Andreas Antonopoulos, dude?
Yeah, that's true.
Why is he's out there?
He's probably tired, dude.
He's like, you know what? I'll let someone else like evangelize on behalf.
And all he does is talk about Bitcoin, which as he should, and it's that important.
Yeah, that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So we needed some bigger voices to carry the whole damn industries, all of them, right? Because now crypto, Web3, it's a multifaceted thing.
Yeah.
It's not just Bitcoin anymore. It's everything, right? It's all these tokens, all these different layers of tech.
Right.
Right? Which nobody trusts intuitively.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just so complicated and not, it's hard to understand in the beginning. And then, these types of events are the ones that kind of get like pushed the hardest, as far as like a mainstream,
like a narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
go back to the last cycle of BitConnect. And, what's that guy's name? Carlos.
I
mean, it was a meme.
Matos, yeah.
It was like a meme everybody fucking saw and loved, and like that's what represented crypto.
Yeah.
Right. Now here we are again. I'm pretty sure the memes are gonna come out hot, like super hot. They're already like showing him and that Caroline chick.
Yeah.
Like just going ham with it, right? I guess based on their looks.
Yeah.
Based on a lot of things that It's like, how could you guys trust these people? Whatever, stuff like this.
I want to make a comment on that. It's everybody's like dogpiling on Sam and like this other chick, and like how can you trust these people because of potentially the way they look or whatever?
Yeah.
But it's so easy to look at this in hindsight and like think that this was obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it clearly was not. I mean,
nobody
Mr.
was,
Wonderful got wrecked. Galaxy Digital, like so many institutions, all A16Z, these guys, all of them got wrecked.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, I still think, I don't know. I can't attribute it to like this guy is just like an evil genius. I really do genuinely think these are just a bunch of young kids who it got out of control for them. Like they started off as just like crypto traders, and before they knew it, they're running one of the biggest exchanges on the planet. It's like, imagine that, like that evolution is from like a human perspective, like the amount of responsibility and logistics that go into that.
Yeah,
all the pressure, everybody's looking at you like you're some sort of like.
But think about you're sitting on your computer and you're like, you have this other company, it's like falling apart, Alameda, and you're thinking about moving customer funds over to this other account. Mm-hmm. Like, isn't that enough to like question whether or not you should actually push the button to transfer the funds? Like, isn't?
Yeah, I mean, it is and it isn't, just because again, like, all the pressures of what people expect from you, right? He's probably he's sitting there again. Everybody, he's being touted again. He's the guy. He's the front man of all of our whole futures. We're pushing him out there in front of Congress and stuff. So he can't risk any sort of devaluation of his reputation, right? So
yeah, I guess
those thoughts probably conquer his mind, and then he's just
like rational mind. Yeah,
yeah. He's like
he's basically seeing one account with like $8 billion worth of liquid cash not being used at all.
Yeah, and
like we're suffering over here in Alameda. Yeah. It's like, why don't I just move like $1 billion or $2 billion over? Just to like keep things going.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, does that make him like an evil person? I mean, clearly he knew what he was doing was against the law, and he was lying, and he was being fraudulent, and so he was aware. But yeah, should he have just allowed everything to crumble and then just own up to it? It's like, shit, I made a lot of rookie mistakes here. I'm young. I'm only like 29 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried my best here, lads. Shit, it's fucking hard out here. Just be a little more honest, and but there's too much at risk for honesty in a lot of cases.
With that being said, I mean, with so much capital and responsibility and stuff, there's no reason that one person should be in charge of.
Exactly. Well,
that should not be able to be done in the dark.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
there's got to be some checks and balances. Your legal team would be like, hey, why are you moving $1 billion to this other account? Like, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Like before we actually complete this transaction with my second, signature.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is like, these are the tenets of like a Maker DAO type foundation, isn't it? Like, there's no decision being made by a single person in a decentralized organization. That's,
right.
That's kind of like a potential new narrative that could be spun from this. And like, this is a good showcase or a good representation of what happens when you allow just too much responsibility on the shoulders of a single individual, or maybe like a handful of them.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why don't we have consensus among like a community of people to make these ginormous decisions? You know what I mean?
You know what?
It's going to slow things down, of course.
Yeah. Dude, I totally agree. And there's actual legal ways of doing what he did. But it had to take a process. Meaning you have to update your terms of service, and then you have to have people opt in. It's like, hey, I do want to make an extra 5% on my crypto that I'm just sitting there on. And so then you can take
FTX spins off like a hedge fund like branch or something.
Well, I mean, the users opt into like this lending functionality within FTX. FTX takes your funds, lends it to Alameda. It inevitably crashes anyways, but your users opted into it.
That's true. Yeah, as opposed to just it's just doing it in the dark.
Yeah,
like yeah. But I mean, who has time for all that, dude? You know what I mean? You gotta make money now, dude, while it's hot, while it's cooking. Not like for next 10 years from now. You know? That's probably what he was thinking. He's like, dude, there's just so much money to be made here, dude. And it's just like sitting here burning in my exchange.
Well, I don't know if he was thinking that exactly, because I think Alameda was like falling apart.
Well, they were. So how did he get the funding for Alameda? Just by raising funds, basically. He just had.
I think so.
He had his own LPs, probably.
And not only that, he was using Alameda to like purchase Voyager and BlockFi. And all these like exchanges that were losing because they didn't properly manage treasury during this downturn, which a lot of people didn't, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, all of that contributed to Alameda kind of falling apart. Instead, what he should have done is let it fall apart and be like, yeah, that's this is what
the nature of
the bear market outcomes.
It's the nature of investing, right? It's very volatile, especially in crypto.
And so maybe the pressure of being like this perfect poster boy, like contributed to like his decision making.
1,000%.
But it would have been more genuine and more trustworthy and more all this is like, everybody has like, their armor isn't like clean, during the bear.
Yeah.
So,
fuck. Well, he made his decision, dude, and he's gonna have to lie in that bed now. He made his bed. Like he had those opportunities to. Man, I could be transparent and honest about all this. Like I just got a little out of my control.
Yeah.
We got a little over exuberant again in the bull market, and these are things he could have said publicly, and some people would understand.
Yeah.
Some people would not. Like, oh man, this guy clearly was like a sham all along.
Yeah.
And then he's going to lose a lot of his reputation. He won't get investments like he used to. He's going to have to settle being like a halfway hack.
Yeah.
He'll probably be like ranked like 300th on the billionaire list instead of like top 100.
Yeah.
Fuck. That would suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But now this decision he made, is the full nuclear route. Like if he always knew, it was like, if I'm going to get caught or this goes tits up, dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking over.
Jail time.
Yeah, potential jail time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know like from the legal side what laws he actually did break and how punitive that could be for him.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, FTX was headquartered in the Bahamas, so now you're looking at like gray areas in terms of like legalities.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
So then that wasn't it.
Okay. Where does it go from here?
So I guess apparently he used a lot of the customer funds to pay for. He was like second in donations for the Democratic Party.
Okay. Like across the board?
Yeah, across the board.
Who was number one?
It was some institution. I can't remember the name.
Okay. Wow, he was second, eh?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
And
so he funded Biden and all that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about how it's easy for the governments to bail out companies and like banks and institutions, but it's not easy to bail out like the people, like trying to get the student loans like kind of cleaned up. But that's because we're not paying for all these like political endorsements.
Yeah.
But institutions are.
Yeah.
And so they always get the good side of the treatment.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was contributing to all of that.
Yeah.
And
he was just greasing the palms like while he's young and making sure like his future's set. Like anytime he needs like a potential real bailout situation in the future, like those palms, they're all already greased up to the max.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I know you. It's like you've been keeping me in this office for the last couple decades.
That's right.
It's like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. You want your bailout? Here it comes. That is the process to how the system operates, right?
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to contribute to this whole outcome.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's gonna have, I don't think anybody's out there advocating except for Mr. Wonderful, maybe like that. The FTX needs a bailout from the government. At least I hope not. Hopefully, that's not even like a thought.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Not enough like real people have been like. Well, I don't know. I say that.
Like, these are like huge, the biggest institution. But
yeah, I say that.
I mean, it's like, A16Z investing at FTX. How much of their percentage of the portfolio is in FTX? Like almost nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like 1%, max.
Maybe
a max.
Maybe.
But I don't know. That was a pretty big round. Some of those big investors probably like went heavy on FTX.
Yeah, but nonetheless, their portfolio size is still negligible.
Yeah,
and that's
pretty much what you're saying. Like, nobody's going under. Well, that's not what we're hearing though. We're hearing a lot of people are about to go under because of this.
Well, yeah,
but nothing of like as the magnitude of banks.
Like banks, all the banks.
Like half of the banking infrastructure is about to go kaput. Like that's something the government hears and might like honor as far as like, okay, this is a fucking problem. It's gonna be like, look, this VC fund that invests in a bunch of shit coins is about to go under, lads. It's like, I don't give a shit.
That's where the term too big to fail comes from, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So FTX is definitely not that.
Yeah, and crypto is not like a deeply ingrained thing into like society where like it's going to impact everyone's like retirement.
Yeah, if everything goes to zero, the government's going to be like, you see, you should have been careful.
Exactly. Yeah. See, we were right all along. You know, you should really be pumping your 401ks, you know, go back to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like that's how the government's thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
So FTX, he was on the right path. He was greasing early, you know, getting that grease out there. He needed another decade or two of persistent grease and like funding to the Democratic Party. Then he would have had it made.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, everyone's 401k would have like FTX products. You know what I mean? And so I guess Coinbase is probably going to facilitate that.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, man. Coinbase ended up coming out so clean. Binance clean.
Yeah. Freaking Brian Armstrong's out there.
Yeah.
On the podcast and stuff. You saw that one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just out there like, yeah, dude.
He's probably like
we're nothing like them. That was the first thing I thought, right?
Yeah.
Remember the best deal? I'm like, oh,
that was the first tweet from Coinbase after all this shit went down. I was like, we're nothing like them.
Fucking great tweet, dude.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
As a user?
Yeah, for sure.
I was scared.
Yeah, same.
I'm still scared.
Well, this triggered all those audits and everything, so everybody's being definitely more public about their reserves.
Yeah, that's another cool thing. Well, it started off as cool, but apparently even that is turning into like another like fraud scare.
Yeah.
Where like so Binance came out with hey guys, look at all the money we got. It's like we're Seifu over here.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, holy shit, they had like almost $100 billion in assets, right? Basically.
Yeah. So this is a tweet from November 12th, and it says, "This is getting wild. The time that Crypto.com claims to have accidentally sent user funds was during the Gate proof of reserve, and we just saw similar behavior with Huobi, and exchanges passing around ETH loans to pass audits." So it's referencing this tweet. It says, confirm, Crypto.com accidentally sent 320,000 ETH of user deposits to Gate.io on October 21st. And then on October 28, Gate shows proof of reserves and then sends 285,000 ETH back. This was topping up for the proof. Gate and Crypto.com are fucked.
Oh my God. So more collusion, more speculation.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, if you are using Gate or Crypto.com, this is your signal.
Yeah.
There's nothing better of a signal than this.
Yeah. That and this is just a wake up call, I guess, to everybody. All the things we've been hearing since like our earliest days in crypto.
Yeah.
It's like what is it? Not your keys, not your money, right?
Yeah,
something
not
like
your
that.
crypto. Yeah.
Shit, and I always like, man, quit being a bitch, dude. It's like nothing's gonna happen. I always left my money lingering on exchanges all day. You know what I mean?
But those exchanges are like generally Coinbase and like.
Well, yeah, it's basically in the early days it was Binance.
It was Binance, yeah. I remember
and then
that.
It became Coinbase.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I never trusted FTX. Thank God. I never got around to it.
Well, FTX was a recent phenomenon.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So
and I was already like
you're ingrained in like Binance and Coinbase. So
yeah, I'm already like, you know, soul claimed.
Yeah.
At this point. Thank God that didn't happen to Coinbase, dude. Oof, that would have been sad.
It would have been way bigger than FTX.
I mean, it's for sure. I mean, that's a publicly traded company.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
Of a fucking story of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the biggest collapses of all time, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this is already still up there. The kid was like the richest young guy on the planet, right? Like,
I don't know if he was that rich, but yeah, he was up there.
They said he had a personal net worth of like 15 billion.
Yeah, 15 billion.
And he got nuked overnight to like less than $1 billion.
Yeah, less than $1 billion. And then
potentially like zero.
It's,
you know?
It's funny in that tweet, Vitalik chimes in. He was like, "That's still more than I have."
Yeah. I mean, probably big time. I wonder how much Vitalik's worth, actually, to be honest.
Well, it's less than $1 billion according to him.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember it was a big deal in the bull run when they're like keeping track of when Vitalik would be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Keeping track. Little countdown.
I'm surprised Vitalik isn't a billionaire though.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's given away a lot. I'm assuming he's given away a lot of his wealth.
Maybe that's...
He definitely burnt a lot of it. Remember he got all that Shiba Inu?
Yeah.
I think that was billions of dollars of Shiba Inu. Like, he burnt it all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, clearly the guy doesn't care that much about money, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, after, like, I don't know, 100 million, like, how much more?
Dude, you could always have more, dude. Come on. Don't talk crazy. Money's money, you know. But this guy, like, he was huge. Like, 15 billion, that's a lot. That's like Zuckerberg potential, right? I think that's what people saw in him. Like, dude, this guy, he's so young.
Yeah.
He's killing it on all fronts. You know, like, he seems to be able to handle it. Like, he's fucking talking to congressmen.
Yeah.
This is very Zuckerberg-esque.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is.
He's on his way to, you know, conquering the world, being another, like, Elon.
Driving a Corolla.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, like wearing fucking khaki shorts and sandals. Like, not a care in the world, right? But, oh, man.
So, yeah, that's it for...
This is too juicy, man.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to know what else is going on, dude.
Can't wait for season 2.
I know. Where's Netflix when you need them, dude? I want this show like now. Like they need to be announcing like who the actors are.
Who's that?
Who's gonna be? It's gonna be like what's that guy? Seth
Rogen.
Seth Rogen is Sam Bankman-Fried, or what's the other Jonah Hill?
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
It's gotta be like a fro-y dude.
Yeah,
it's gotta be young Jonah Hill.
Yeah. That
Not
and who's gonna
Jonah.
play Caroline? That's gonna be tough, dude. That's such a good movie. There she is, Caroline, dude. Who could play her?
Super villains.
Super villains.
How about the girl from Game of Thrones, the Arya?
Oh, dude, that's a great call. Arya Stark. You don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, wait, I think I do. I do. Yeah. That would be perfect. Yeah.
That's actually a dude.
Pull her
TJ,
up, Will.
what the hell, dude? You should be a casting director, dude. That's fucking perfect. Oh my god, dude, that's
dude,
perfect.
Come on. That's not that far of a stretch.
Yeah, it's not.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, see, we're already building a AAA Netflix series here, dude. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, definitely. This is going to be a whole series. The same thing happened with Theranos. They did a whole, like, 10-episode series, like, breaking down, like, what happened. Same thing happened with WeWork.
Are you serious?
Yeah, these are must-watch series.
Any of these.
These are must-watch.
Well, I've seen, like, the documentaries on all of those, but I've never seen, like, a casted series.
Yes, yeah.
I gotta check that out, dude.
Yeah, you gotta. It's must-watch.
Okay, so it's definitely coming then.
Yeah.
Netflix
100%.
on the ball.
Yeah.
They're already writing the script.
Yeah.
I mean, the script's, like,
it's already written.
Perfect already.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, man, dude. I mean, I guess we're supposed to be like a metaverse podcast. But I mean, shit. How can we not talk about this? You know, this is so much more interesting right now. This is juicy as fuck, dude. Fuck it, man. I mean, we're gonna have a long bear market.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about next. Is like what impact does crypto have as a result of this?
Yeah, what impact on crypto?
On crypto, yeah.
As a result of this.
Yeah.
I mean, my gut instinct is telling me like this is gonna be the worst winter of all time.
Yeah,
because we used to just be talking about like the macroeconomic factors and like geopolitical stuff. Mm-hmm. All this is what's scaring people, right? Not necessarily like the boom and bust of crypto and Web3 itself. Is like the market experienced a typical over euphoric moment and then the inevitable collapse of sentiment. This is natural shit.
Yeah.
But this is like an event that just tarnishes everyone's beliefs.
Yeah.
Right. This is like an ideological stab to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even like people deeply ingrained in like this industry.
There was let me see if I can pull up my tweet here. There was, man, I forget. I think it was Yahoo Finance. Let me see. There was a video on Yahoo Finance.
Uh-huh.
And here it is. So in the quote, it says, "Crypto is only good for criminals." Some guy on Yahoo Finance is claiming that all of crypto is just for criminals.
We're back to that.
Yeah.
Before it was Bitcoin, now it's like everything crypto is just for criminals. Yeah.
And so that was an indicator to me is like we're in like this is like the bottom of the bear, right? Mm-hmm. In a sense. Mm-hmm. And like this means accumulation time.
Oh yeah.
And
for
like,
sure.
That's all that this means. Like people calling crypto a scam, like that's a buy signal.
Yeah,
if there ever was one.
This is as bloody as the street has looked in a while. Like, you gotta respect Warren Buffett's like principles, right? Like,
Yes.
when there's blood in the street, just lick it all up, dude. I don't think those are his exact words, but that's what I'm saying.
Paraphrasing.
I don't think Warren Buffett talks like that, but yeah, man, this is fucking bloody, man.
Yeah, when people are fearful, that's when you're greedy.
Yeah, I'm fearful as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, take that as a potential variable. Is I-Man scared?
Yeah.
I'm very scared.
That's another signal.
It's a buy signal, dude.
So contributing to the buy signal, we're looking at one of the charts, one of the famous rainbow charts. I don't think Plan B came up with this chart. I think it's part of his website, but nonetheless, this is a good kind of representation of where we are in this whole.
We've been looking at this charts since we started this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
and we started the podcast in peak bear.
Yeah.
So just to give context.
Looking at, and we've always said, when we hit these blue bands, dude, I mean, you can't respond
any other way,
and you must buy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not financial advice, but it pretty much is. Without saying such, it's just, I mean, I don't know, what else?
Yeah, what can you do? I mean,
because we've experienced enough, right? Like, go back to the last time, the COVID sell-off. I mean, everyone thought the world was about to end. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't buy. Well, actually, I bought a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't so fearful in that moment, right, I thought legit, society was about to crumble. Everyone I knew was going to die.
Yeah.
Because this is the narrative that was being pushed, right? And then there was images in China, people just dying on the
streets. Yeah.
Fucking flamethrowers.
Yeah.
It couldn't have looked any more grim.
Yeah.
And the market reacted, and so did I, and I was fearful, and it's like, man, there's no way we can come back from this, and we did.
Yep.
Right. So you have to be cognizant of that.
Not only did we come back, I mean, we came back with a vengeance. This was like a $4,000 Bitcoin. Went all the way to $70,000.
Yeah.
That's more than a 10x return. Almost 20x.
Yeah. So nonetheless, I mean,
so what does a 20x look like from our peak bottom at 16,000 or so? So we're looking at $400,000 Bitcoin. That's a 20x return from here.
Yeah.
Assuming the same thing happens.
Well, there's certain variables and considerations that, independent of all these different, what do they call them? Unicorn events or Black Swan events.
Yeah.
Independent of all of that, there's these fundamental economics of Bitcoin that never changes. Right? The halving is coming in 2 years.
That's
right. Therefore, it is going to become
even more scarce,
much more scarce, and therefore much more in demand, and value proposition will increase literally overnight. But of course, it takes cycles for that to be factored into the price itself.
Yeah, I mean, look at the last halving. Once the halving came, nothing happened for several months.
Yeah, and
then the explosion came.
Exactly.
And then I say explosion because we're looking at a chart, but in real time, it took weeks for it to jump,
Yeah.
It took several weeks.
Yeah, that's why in moments like this, it seems too bearish. You can't ever even envision an outcome where we can come back from this. That's typical of the psychology whenever you're in these moments of despair and depression and all this. So that's to be expected. This is natural.
Yeah.
To have those feelings. So if you're experienced enough, you understand that phenomena of these natural feelings that we have, right? So but be cognizant of the reality and the truth to Bitcoin, and the fact that it does have a rhythmic nature to it. It's all programmed.
Yeah.
Programmed scarcity, right? I mean, it's all determinable.
Yeah.
You could look at it, you could do the math, and people have. That's where these projections come from, right?
That's right.
So at some point, people are going to forget about all this, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because if based on these timescales, we have a year to kind of get back to a potential bullish sentiment phase.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. So I think the long-term effects of what we experienced with FTX, which is this is a much bigger deal than just a hack that occurred to Mt.Gox, or where they lost 400,000 Bitcoin, something like that, which is a shit ton of Bitcoin.
It really is. Yeah.
This is much bigger because there was so much faith put into Sam and his public persona in Congress and all that. He affected the entire, view of crypto from the outside. So, but if you look at, I think Mt.Gox got hacked in 2014, not 2013.
Okay.
And so look at this long like time spent in the blue area.
Yeah, very long.
It's like several years.
Yeah.
And then it caught, the start of 2017. That's when everything went ham.
Yes.
So we're probably looking at that similar scenario where we're going to spend a lot of time in the blue area. So, which is a good thing. That's just you slowly accumulating.
Yeah, it's a good thing if you're paying attention now and not fearful to where you just stay away. If you stay away for the next couple of years, that's the biggest mistake you can make.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you're going to catch wind of, oh, shit, I guess people trust these crypto things again. Mm-hmm. Everything's flying off the shelves.
Yeah, the next time, if you're not paying attention, the next time you hear about Bitcoin is after it breaches like 69,000. It's like, and that's when the floodgates are open and everybody comes in.
Yeah, you're going to hear about it when it breaks 100K and everyone's telling you it's going to go to $1 million.
Yeah.
And you're going to buy into it at 100K.
Yeah.
And then it might top out like 150, 200, and then it's going to like correct.
Yeah.
Inverse. And then you're going to be left holding the bag, basically.
Yeah.
So there's phases to this, dude. Yeah, if you have the patience, the tenacity,
the discipline to accumulate.
You have to have true fundamental belief in these things, in these products, these technologies, and the value proposition that they can have. Hopefully, a future with much less, middlemen, humanity, human involvement.
Yeah.
And if you do understand the fundamental nature to, cryptocurrency, DeFi. All these things, that is the ultimate end game goal, right? Is to mitigate as much trust and risk in these ecosystems as possible, right?
Yeah, and you want to be smart about how you make these investments too. You don't want to go all in on anything ever.
No, that's why they call it accumulation, right? Just like, shit. I mean, you get like a spare $100 every paycheck or something like that. It's not a bad idea just to throw it in.
Yeah.
We got, and then by the end of the 2-year cycle of despair, you're going to be really happy you did, dude. I'm telling you. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been so many times where I wish I did exactly that. And it's like, man, it would have paid huge dividends,
Yeah, I want to point out this despair moment during that COVID sell-off.
Yeah.
It quickly rebounded. I mean, it didn't even take like a day or two where it hit like $4,000 and it was back at like 6K.
Yeah.
So, people who were paying attention, they saw that opportunity and they bought it up. I mean, that's why you see like this sharp V. But I wanted to end the podcast with like some hopium. And I shared this article with Iron Man. I don't think you got to reading it yet, but it's a long one, which I do recommend. And all the links to everything here will be in the description. But it says the U.S. will weaponize the dollar by backing it with Bitcoin.
Ooh. So we've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, so we're thinking
potential. Right?
Yeah, we're thinking like how does the United States maintain their power when now there's a fully competing currency to the fiat currency?
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that this guy explains it, he says, well, what they could do is they can acquire a whole bunch of Bitcoin and back the dollar with Bitcoin. And see, to me, that's like the most brilliant 5D chess move that you can think of, because now the dollar becomes even more powerful.
Yeah.
It's stable.
Yeah.
And then it's backed by the most valuable asset, that synthetic asset that humans have made.
So what is it going to take for the United States to go all in on this strategy, you think? Like somebody else?
What is it going to take?
China doing it first?
Probably. Once they hear like there's accumulation patterns within countries, that's when this will become full in effect.
So this is, at some point we're going to have to revisit this article, this reality, right? Whenever we're approaching that closer to post-halvening 2024 discussion is like, all right, we're about to enter a new bullish cycle. What is going to galvanize humanity to want to start piling on to this Bitcoin train, right? Because, of course, it's always going to start with Bitcoin every time.
Yeah, it is.
It always does. It always will. This has the most potential. I don't know. We're going to have to see.
And remember, during this bull cycle, or this previous one that we experienced, we talked about how institutions were coming in, right? We saw Tesla, Elon, Twitter.
I guess Sailor,
yeah.
I guess that's an institution.
Now, like that's barely scratching the surface of institutions, right? So we still need institutions that come in, but the next phase would be countries going into Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and that's after regulation has been already set up and everything. And
do you think we can get enough regulation in place, like within the next 2 years?
Definitely not.
Of winter? No,
100% no. 100% no.
So then,
so we still got some time here, but I mean, now's the time to be accumulating for this probably inevitable outcome.
So you think this is not the next cycle? This is potentially like the cycle after?
I would say we got probably another decade before countries are like
shit,
going ham into.
Then how the fuck? Who's gonna be buying Bitcoin next time, dude? Like, what's gonna get everyone's jimmies?
Well,
like,
right now, I mean, not a whole lot of the human population isn't in cryptocurrency yet.
Okay, I get who's going to be like. How are we gonna spark interest to buy Bitcoin again? It's not if Elon. I feel like exhausted his powers. It was mostly him, right? Like he drove a lot of the market euphoria early on, right?
Yeah.
It's like holy shit, Elon and Tesla's in, dude. You can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
So who's left? If you're not like individuals, it has to be.
The biggest name is Elon on the planet.
So he could probably do it again.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can probably implement like some sort of Bitcoin technology or something like within his products. I mean,
Twitter.
I don't know. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah,
I mean, he owns Twitter now.
Yeah.
I can.
We actually, I don't think we've talked about Twitter and Elon on the podcast yet.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know if there's a lot to talk about there, other than like he's just.
Oh, of course, there's something to talk about, dude. I mean, it's Elon and it's Twitter. Like those are some huge things to talk about. But yeah, we'll do that next time.
So yeah.
This is
too
juicy.
I don't think I've experienced so much action within crypto in such a small amount of time.
Yeah, same. Same. I can't think of it other than
Mt.Gox, but that was, I don't know. So many people have been hacked. Like it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, I guess, next time discuss this. I guess our own insights and feelings on this industry, dude, because this is definitely like a wake up moment. Like we need to mature as
100%.
as builders, as I don't know, users, people, like in this whole Web3 ethos. Like we have these strong ideas and we have these strong beliefs. We want to disrupt a lot of things, but man, we can't just live in chaos, dude. Like utter anarchy and shit like that. Like regulation and
we got to grow up.
Market maturity is a good thing.
That's right.
Yeah. If we ever want like the world to respect us and
that's
participate.
what Mr. Wonderful says is that not until regulation comes in will the huge institutions, the institutions that make $250 billion per day on like oil, that's when they'll buy Bitcoin once it's regulated.
Yeah, of course.
So imagine $250 billion in volume in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that's going to do to the price?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. That's been the podcast for today. I think for the next podcast, we're going to have a little fun.
Yeah. We need some fun.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot less like crypto analysis and more like just hanging out, chatting.
Oh, right on, dude.
Yeah.
Let's hang out and chat.
All right. Yeah. Let us know what you guys agree or disagree with in the comment section below on YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at Rovi AI, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.